it's a hot day, I'm hanging in the sunshine. You should hit me with the splash gun so I cool down.
What you see behind me here is a spring where water obviously goes through the rock, comes down here, and the tradition is that you wash your hands and you wash your face, and it's supposed to bring you luck. So I took a bath, and I'm gonna come back to the States and play the lottery. So I should be good to go. They got really mad about me taking a bath, but you know, just blame it on me being a foreigner.
We can take the roller coaster, and you know everybody's looking for a ride in the water slide. Water slide.
Hey guys, it's February 21st. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we are outside. Toy Toy's doing some exercises. That is like the largest sweater that I've ever seen. Kind of a style here. At least I've seen a couple of people with wearing these sweaters. But yeah, today I'm feeling cautiously optimistic. Lots of good news coming out in the local Chongqing news, and actually across the nation. Looks like you know, manufacturing companies are starting to go back online, kind of basically put it in first gear and start to ramp up production. You know, I think that's a good sign. You know, I don't think the Chinese government, based on how strict they have been and how aggressive they have been in closing everything down, I don't think that they would jeopardize the progress they made by starting things back up if they didn't think the numbers didn't look good when it comes to the number of cases and deaths. I mean, we're still having it. I have noticed on the numbers, the number of cases, there are not as many cases reported, there's not as many deaths reported, and there's more recovered being reported. You know, I'm sure based on that information and whatever information that the government has access to, they are making the decision in many areas of China to start ramping up production, which is a good sign. Like I said, I don't think they would jeopardize the progress they've made and put people around each other only for people to get sick again. You know, cautiously optimistic about that. I'm cautiously optimistic because I'm hearing more car traffic than I've heard in probably a month. And there's actually more people outside walking around. Although we don't have any sun, it's a little chilly today. There's a lot more people walking around in the complex area trying to get some fresh air. You know, I've told you this before, but I use iChongqing. It's a government-owned news organization here in the Chongqing area. It's called iChongqing. Website is ichongqing.info. And I was reading some of the headlines that they're posting, and I'll just read the headlines, but it just gives you an idea of the overall atmosphere starting to come about, at least in the Chongqing area. It says Chongqing main industries resume operation, playing cornerstone role in the economy. That was posted 18 hours ago. Another one says 55 logistics enterprises resume production in Chongqing Liangjiang new area. Chongqing rail transit to resume construction with strict epidemic prevention and control. And then the last one, 81 key leading enterprises resume production in Chongqing. So again, the news that we're getting, at least here in Chongqing, is showing that things are starting to ramp back up. I do, you know, I'm kind of like, I'm doing a shout out in the middle of this video. It's because I forgot, but now that I remember, I want to bring up two individuals that I just want to thank for doing what they've done. The first one is Dutchsinse. It's a YouTube channel that actually covers the earthquakes that happen throughout the world. And if you're an earthquake follower, this is definitely a YouTube channel you want to check out, because it's comprehensive information, great charts and graphs and videos that this guy has, and of course great information that he shares in this channel. So if you're a earthquake follower, check it out. And the reason why I bring up his name is because he mentioned my plea for additional medical supplies. That plea ended up being answered by one of his subscribers, and as a result, a donation was made to an organization to help out the doctors in Wuhan. So, you know, to me, it's amazing that you know, at a grassroots level, how quickly we can get things done. We don't have to deal with bureaucracies like the CDC or, you know, World Health Organization or government organization, we can get stuff done. So maybe by this example, we can start to get more done in supplies and help for this country. The other person I wanted to thank is Andre Beauvais, and he's out of California. He's in the clothing industry, and he's helped me with a lot of great information, but just support, encouragement, and prayers and that kind of thing. So Dutchsinse and Andre Beauvais, thank you for your prayers and thank you for your support. It's much appreciated. But having said that, Andre is in the clothing industry, and I asked him how they were being impacted, because I know that they were buying clothes from China, and he says that there's a you know, supply chain demand obviously in the industry. They can't get any type of samples used to sell their own lineup. I thought this was very interesting that because they're unable to get supplies and material from China, that they've gone to Pakistan and India to fill that need. But I guess the powers that be at his organization and probably other people feel that that could be a possible problem, because when you start dealing with developing countries who don't have a medical infrastructure like China or the UK or the United States, that if this progresses, if this virus progresses in those developing countries, that it could be a situation very much like we have here in China, and those outlets could be shut down. You know, companies that are dependent upon manufacturing in various countries throughout the world may not be able to get the supplies that they need. You know, and you think about it, you can talk about the textile industry, the clothing industry, you can talk about the technology industry. Just about every industry is going to be impacted from this this virus from a financial standpoint. You know, obviously, first and foremost is concern for the disease, that it doesn't spread any more than it has, but as like I guess a hangover, as one of the pundits on CNBC said, you know, there's going to be a huge hangover economically in the world, because so many countries are dependent upon China for supplies. You know, and I'm not an economist. I mean, I used to be in the investment world for 20 plus years, capital markets, investments, and I paid more attention to the economy and that type of information years ago. You know, I don't feel like I could pontificate, as they would say, in that area, but it's something that I think we all need to watch. And, you know, the various companies in the United States that depend on China for supplies, which I'm sure they're already aware of, need to be thinking of plan A and plan B in case they can't get supplies. Like I said, I think a lot of them are already experiencing that and aware of the issue. But I think over the next month, 2 months, you're going to see CNBC, all these different news organizations talking about the issue and the lack of material and supplies from China. Guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to spend some time with Guo and Toi Toi. We're out playing, and he's kind of pissed that I brought the camera. He knows when he sees the camera, he's like, okay, he's not going to play with me. He's just going to do video stuff. I tried to pretend my camera was a gun, but that didn't fool him. So thanks again for everything that you're doing, all the prayers and the messages. I love you, and we'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care.
Yeah, it's a hot day. I'm hanging in the sunshine. You should hit me with the splash gun so I cool down. Won't you come on over? We can party till the sun's down. Baby, let me buy you a drink while we're dancing a blink. I could go for some Queen Bee too. Macy's going boom boom. If you're looking for some crazy, I'll tell you everybody's standing in a line for the water slide. You can come on over. We can take the roller coaster.
I'll be back.